Tron Arius is dropping in October 2025, which means it's time to revisit the question. Did Tron Legacy actually deserve a sequel? This movie had groundbreaking visuals, Daft Punk's epic score, and ambitious storytelling, but critics were divided and audiences moved on quickly. So before we get excited about returning to the grid, let's figure out the truth. Is Tron Legacy an underrated gem that earned its follow-up, or just an expensive screensaver that somehow convinced Disney to make another one? Find out today as we watch another movie at Grandma's house. Hello, please come in. There's some fresh cookies in the cookie jar. There's a pitcher of Kool-Aid on the counter. Have a seat and make yourself comfy. And I'm your host, Isaac. We're not gonna make it! And who's with me to review the movie Tron Legacy?
This is Seth.
Made it!
This is Sheldon. Sometimes life has a way of moving you past things like wants and hopes.
This is Ben. One day, I got in.
This is Ajax. I have a 3-inch replica of you on my shelf.
And welcome one and all to Grandma's house. As you can tell, we have a packed house here visiting today. So many guests. Welcome, everyone. Just start. How is everybody feeling?
Good.
Feeling great.
That is awesome. And Seth, how we doing?
I'm doing great today, man. I'm really doing good.
Yes. We considered the very first Tron in the Galcade at Sheldon's, but we are just going to do it over the powers of internet this time. So we're still all here, but we're going to have a great time. Before we jump into this, though, we want you, the listener at home, to get the proper spoiler warning. So if you've not seen this film, from here on out, consider yourself warned. So let's get into some film facts. For Tron Legacy, it was released back on December 17th, 2010. It had a budget of $170 million. The box office, $409.9 million. Looking around at the reviews, IMDb sits at a 6.8 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, 51%. Letterboxd has a 3.2 out of 5. Currently, as of this recording, you can watch it for free streaming on Disney+. It stars Garrett Hedlund, Olivia Wilde, and returning is Jeff Bridges. It's in association with Walt Disney Pictures. And last but not least, we got to get to Granny's family-friendly rating. So Seth, what is that rating?
Granny's family-friendly rating for Tron Legacy is C for violence and language.
There you go. I am so excited with our special guests on to hear some first memories with this movie because we're talking about a film coming up on 15 years. So let's start with you, Sheldon. What are your first memories?
I remember not seeing this in the theaters. I didn't really, I'd never seen the first Tron. Actually, the first time I saw Tron was whenever we reviewed it. So I didn't know much about it. But once it had come out on DVD, I believe I did watch it. That was on TV. I can't quite remember, but I do remember that I did like the movie. So some good memories.
Awesome. How about you, Ben?
Yeah, so my first memories was seeing the trailer and thinking, whoa, that's pretty amazing graphics. I saw this in theaters, and the graphics were amazing, so I was captivated instantly.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be probably talking about that at length, but that is definitely something I remember. How about you, Ajax?
Well, I was never a fan of the first movie. I felt it was lacking quite a bit. So I was kind of apprehensive to watch this. I did not see it in theaters. I did watch it when it came out eventually on DVD and Blu-ray. And yeah, that's what I've got so far for you anyway.
There you go. And Seth, I'm interested to hear what's your first memories.
So I had not seen this before. So it was a fresh take, complete fresh start for me. I was a fan of the first one, so I just was hoping that it would be in that range.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to be interested to hear your thoughts some more, but I saw this in theaters. I do recall seeing it with a group of friends. We went and saw it. And like Ben, the special effects were just amazing. Seeing it on the big screen, it was something else at the time. It was just remarkable. I can't put it into words. It was just like, wow. I mean, I remember enjoying it. I didn't think I was blown away otherwise. Like, I thought it was okay, but I was more blown away by the special effects. So going into that, though, we got some interesting expectations, I'm sure. Let's go right on back to you, Sheldon. What were your expectations then on watching it?
I watched the first one last time we had gotten together, and I actually really enjoyed the first one. So I was thinking, okay, this is this should be on par, if not better than the first one, maybe. And also, too, I expected to understand it a little bit better because I'd seen this one without ever seeing the first one. So some of the things was kind of lost on me. Like, okay, what does that exactly mean? So I expected to enjoy it even more seeing it this time.
Right on. How about you, Ben?
Yeah, so going through it again was good because I remember hearing the music and getting to listen to music again, and everything kind of captivates you and pulls you in.
Yeah, that's right. The soundtrack, again, I think we'll talk about it, but that is another highlight of this film. How about you, Ajax?
Yeah, so I really wanted to like the graphics more, and I wanted to like the story more. I wanted to like everything more than the first because I did not like the first film at all. And so they checked a few of those boxes, and we'll get into it more, of course, but a few of those boxes were checked anyway.
All right. And how about you, Seth?
So I wanted to soak it all in, just take it all in and get that action and decipher the story later, try to figure out what's going on at the moment.
Yeah. Since this is going to be fresh, that's something I'm going to be really interested to hear your thoughts on. That's what I love to hear is someone that hasn't seen a movie that we consider it's the first time watching it. So for me, the kids, we watched the first one. They seemed to enjoy it. They had a good time with it. I mean, it's got its dated moments, but they seem to have a good time. So I was thinking, okay, I hope this is going to hold up pretty well. 15 years doesn't seem like a long time, but it can be. So I was like, I just hope, again, the kids are going to enjoy it. I'm going to have a good time, obviously. I didn't think it was this amazing movie, but it was a fun time. So I was just kind of hoping for the same thing this time around. All right. Well, before we get into the plot rewind, let's pause just a moment to hear from our sponsor. Hey, love movies as much as we do? Then bring the experience of the theater to your walls with movieposters.com. Whether you're into the classics, the blockbusters, or indie gems, they have something for every single film fanatic. As a listener of our podcast, you can save up to 15% on your order right now. Just use code Grandma's House at checkout. Head to movieposters.com and let's build your ultimate collection today. All right, let's pull up Disney Plus. Let's select Tron Legacy and press play.
The son of a computer programmer goes looking for his father and ends up inside the digital world that his father designed. He meets his father's corrupted creation and a unique ally who was born inside the digital world. Within this crazy world of gaming, we see tons of action, but did they capture the spark of the original movie? Join us as we review the sequel at Grandma's House.
Okay, so this is pretty interesting. We have a big gap coming from the first one to this one. I'm sure that's the big thing that jumps out to you guys. It certainly jumped out to me. If you watch it back to back, there's a huge jump in the special effects. So I just want to kind of throw it out. Maybe as our guests, we'll go back and I'll just throw it out to Ben. What's kind of maybe some first impressions when you're watching this film? And you can even compare it to the first if you want.
Yeah, so compared to the first one, the graphics are completely night and day. I know they had to be groundbreaking graphics back in the 80s, but seeing it now, the modern stuff and the slow-mo walking scene with the fireworks in the background and the lights and the colors, just everything popped on screen and it just very enjoyable.
Right on. Let's go to Ajax. I'm interested to hear what's kind of like your first impressions as you watch the movie.
Yeah, I'll echo those sentiments from Ben. They're also it's very simplified too. There's not too much going on in the background. Your eyes are very focused on what is in front of you, which is what you want. You definitely want to have focus. And yeah, there's not a lot of distracting elements. So a lot of sci-fi movies, there's a lot of stuff going on and they can be distracting. Case in point, like the Transformers films, Michael Bay movies, there's so much going on. Your eyes are just like going crazy and you're like overwhelmed. but in this movie, your eyes aren't focused on anything but what's right in front of you. And so I felt that was very important and was a nice touch. And it just looks so different than any other film too.
I agree with that. Yeah, that just really jumps out, I think, right away. And let's jump over to Sheldon. What do you think?
Mine's going to sound kind of similar to Ajax and Ben, but the really the graphics on here, I kind of felt like they should have waited to do the first Tron closer to this time frame, because I feel like it would have done way better, because the first Tron is a little, to today's standards, a little rough to watch, just because, your eyes almost feel like they're hurting halfway through because of these weird graphics everywhere, even though they were trying. But yeah, it really did pop out. The graphics did when they got in there, the way that the bikes look whenever they're going this way and that way, and they have that stream behind them, like the video game. Overall, just love the way it looked.
Yeah, definitely. And how about you, Seth?
Hot take. So I didn't see this in theaters. I didn't see it close to when it was released. I'm seeing it now. I watched it twice, just to be prepared. I wasn't that impressed by the graphics myself. That might be a hot take, but I just wasn't blown away.
Interesting. That's what I love to hear, though, because in my mind, I'm the opposite. I thought, man, the graphics still hold up really well. I was blown away at the time because this was kind of the cutting edge, but I thought it held up still. I was like, wow, this is really cool. And that's what this movie is. It's really more about showing, like, look at all this. It's a video game. It's in a computer, so it's obviously going to try and highlight those things. But yeah, that's kind of my first impressions. I was kind of like, it held up pretty well. But I loved hearing that, because it's like, maybe I'm still stuck in the past, though. I'm still looking at it from those lenses, because you never know. I mean, I didn't watch this, I don't think, in 4K. So I have to ask, Seth, how did you watch it? What was it DVD?
I was going to say, yeah, I watched it in 4K, and I thought it was decent. I won't knock it, but I think the graphics could have been a little bit sharper. That's all.
Gotcha. So I can't see, that's what's interesting. I didn't watch it in 4K, I don't think. So maybe it would change if I did watch it in that spectrum or quality, but that's interesting to hear. Now, when it comes to the plot, I personally thought it was pretty solid, and we talked about it when we considered the first one. The first one's kind of confusing at times. I mean, you're trying to follow what's going on, of like what's real world and this, and they probably could have just done a better job of it. I think maybe if you've seen it a few times, you'll get the hang of it. This one feels like they tried to correct that. That was the sense I was getting. I'll throw this up to anybody. Anybody just jump on in. But did you guys think that with the plot, or do you think it was still kind of a mess like the first one?
I didn't think it was as bad as the first one, but I still thought they could have done a much better job explaining it, especially from the beginning. And then when you're jumping in after he gets into the digital world, I mean, the character development is very poor, in my opinion. I really think that they could have done a better job. Like, okay, this is Clue. This is the program that he developed. This isn't him. And I don't think they explained it very well at all. It's still better than the mess that the first one was.
Okay. So we got Ajax on that. Anybody else jump in? I love to hear you guys' take on this.
I do think what's kind of interesting is after seeing this, I went back and watched the first one. So there's a comparison. So after I watched this one and seen the first one, it made me think of, like, I thought Clue got killed in the first one, and then he's back in this one, if I remember correctly. And the plot was decent, trying to drive the plot along, but I felt like the graphics were probably more of the center of what they were trying to go versus plot. Plot was better, but I don't think it was 100% better.
Yeah. I think I'm kind of with you on that.
Yeah. For me personally, there's parts of it that were kind of confusing to me, like in the very beginning. I guess a hot take for me is, like, I thought the first half of the movie was kind of just boring. Like, I was like, come on, get to, like, the good stuff. Like, I know he comes in there and he's doing some things as far as, like, he has his disc as the tournament, things like that. But it just felt like it was like the story just kind of slowed down to a halt almost at that point. But before that, whenever he had that scene where he's breaking into this facility that supposedly his dad worked at, and it was like, oh, I want to, like, take away this master program, and you're like, oh, cool, like he's like he's like his dad, and he's trying to like give up this stuff for the for everyone, and then it's like, well, I'm the main shareholder, so it's technically my company anyways, and I'm like, what? Like, like that was very confusing to me. Like, so why did you just do all of that? It just was like, I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Plot hole. Yeah.
Yes, huge plot hole. Like, yeah. So
I was thinking the
like
same
the
thing.
story. Yeah, I like the story, like to a certain degree, but also felt like it had a lot of issues.
Yeah, I could see that.
I had written down that I didn't feel like it was that original of a plot, but it was a sequel, so what does it matter? Like pretty much, And then I think it's kind of funny because I liked the plot of the first one. It just didn't make a lot of sense. You know what I mean? Like it had a good idea. The idea was there, and that was strong. The execution was poor. I will say that. But the second movie, yeah, the plot, it really didn't. I mean, it kind of just bounced around, and as Ben said, it jumped and relied on the graphics, on the action, and I kind of knew that going in from the trailer and everything. So, you get what you get.
Yeah.
I was going to say that one thing I did want to mention that was a little confusing when rewatching it was in the first movie, Jeff Bridges' characters, he's trying to get out of there, and then in the beginning he's like, well, I'm going back. Like, so that was I was a little confused on that.
Yeah, they could have explained that a little better. It felt like he was more in control, and that was what this movie was trying to highlight, is he's this like a controller of the world now. Before, the program sucked him in and was throwing him in through all these games. Now he's got control of it, and he's trying to build this quote unquote better world. That's kind of the plot, but along the way, Clue turns evil because he's AI. Kind of makes you a little afraid of how AI is today. Kind of reminds you a little bit like, is this going to happen real world? I don't know. So I kind of like that aspect of it, but I agree with you guys. Like the plot wasn't really the strong feature of this. It was just kind of that framework to get you to where you need to go. The next scene is action, 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 special effects. Well, how did they get here? Well, they just kind of got there because this program, and Clue is controlling it, so he's the bad guy now, and it could have been better. I agree with you guys. It wasn't like it needed to be this amazing plot, but I do feel like that was something they should have maybe took a little bit of their budget, that $170 million budget, put it into some writers to improve it just a little bit there.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the plot, we got to jump over. What about the characters, though? Because you got Jeff Bridges returning. So I'm really interested. It kind of was touched on a little bit there, but maybe throw it over to Seth, because I'm interested to hear what your take is on the characters, though.
It was very nice for me to see Jeff Bridges again. I'm a huge fan of his acting. Flynn, like he plays Flynn, and I thought Sam and Cora were all strong characters. They're pretty strong, well casted. I thought the side characters of the movie were not done. Like it's not really the acting. I think it was more the directing. It wasn't done well, in my opinion. I don't think they added much flavor to the movie. They kind of took away some of the excitement, I should say.
Get that? Anybody else just jump in? Yeah, what did you guys think of the characters?
Yeah, 100% agree with that. The programs, I mean, some of their faces, you're like, I'm interested in the backstory of this program. Who is this person? And you never find out. They're just like, they just are. They just exist in this world. And so there was like a little hole in the movie where I'm just like, fill that in with something, like show me something. And it just, it kept with the main three. And I'm just like, it was all right. So I wish there was more to it.
I like the main character and Jeff Bridges. Those two I thought were good. I could kind of tell, obviously they had to like CGI Jeff Bridges' young face on him, but I thought they did a pretty good job for the time. Like I was like, that's whenever Disney started doing that a lot, where they were just like CGI in people's faces. So Jeff Bridges did well in both parts if he was the one that was doing that. The only side character that I know of that I could think of that, had like some type of different personality was, I think his name was Zeus. Is that the guy's name that had the cane, the glowing cane?
I think so.
Sounds right.
I'll check.
Yeah.
I'll check.
Yeah. And I thought he was a cool character. He kind of was like that mischievous, playing both sides. And he's, ends up getting him caught and everything and ends up with the discs. I thought he was a cool, like, side character, but everyone else was kind of just background noise whenever it came to it, honestly.
I agree.
I do have to say one of the coolest cameos in the movie was Daft Punk, because they did the music for the whole movie. So, again, Jeff Bridges was amazing. He was, he stole it.
Yeah. Yeah, Jeff Bridges is pretty much good in anything. He's just one of those actors. He's not this one trick pony. He can play different characters. He can play a good guy. He can play a bad guy. He can play kind of that gray. He's one of those actors. I love pretty much anything I see him in. He's just really good at that. I agree with you, Ben. And I agree with you guys too. The characters, that's another thing I wish they would improve on. I don't think they were terrible. They weren't the worst ever, but maybe if you're expecting a lot, you're going to be disappointed because there's not much substance there. Q, who is played by Olivia Wilde, she's an interesting character. They make that like she's now at, obviously jumping to the end, she gets into the real world with Jeff Bridges' son. And that's kind of trying to allude to the sequel that here we are now. It's 15 years later. It took this long, but that's the direction they were going in. So her character is really cool. And that like bar, club, whatever it is, where they go to rescue Jeff Bridges' son, she's awesome in that scene. Like she's, fighting off guys. So I wish there was a little bit more development on her side because she's kind of got that like childish, oh, what's this? What's that? And she kind of steals scenes too, like comedy. Did you guys feel that way? I'm interested to hear what you think of her character.
Wholeheartedly agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I just wish this is a movie that could have used any kind of a flashback or a montage or something like that gave me any kind of like, okay, make me interested in this person. Their eyes do it, like Olivia Wilde's eyes, a lot of character there. So tell me why. What is the history of this person? And it just fell flat for me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
How about the rest of you guys?
I liked that they tried to make her the last of those one people, I forget what they were, that were in the what was she supposed to be? He said she's like a miracle because she's the last of her kind, and I'm like, what? I didn't understand what she was supposed to be, like what those things were that he was like, oh, and then Clue came in and he destroyed them all, and I'm like, what did he destroy? I don't even understand what that is. So I was very confused at that point.
So that's true. That goes back to the plot. They need to develop it a little bit more because I'm with you. I'm like, I'm trying to remember what was it that she was. Did you catch that, Ben?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember and thumbs come to mind.
That just shows you we can't remember. And it's not that you have to remember all the details, but yeah, there's just something special about her. That's what I remember. And again, I've enjoyed her when she was on screen, but I just wish she was fleshed out a little bit more. Give a little bit. You don't have to give us everything, but a little bit more.
To go along with that, the only time they do start to flesh it out is right at the end.
Right.
Yeah.
100% agree. Yes, yeah. I was noticing that, but it sounds like we're all in agreement. Like this could have been better. There's a lot of like things, but getting back to the positive, I know Seth he didn't think it was quite as good, but going back to the special effects, was there any scenes that kind of jumped out to you guys? Anybody can jump in, like that you're like, wow, or you thought that's really good special effects?
I'll jump in. The light cycles, those stole the show.
I agree. They gave that like proper update where if you compare it to the original, it did it justice. I felt like that's something I was going to say. Yeah.
Yeah. So much better.
Were they programs? What do they call the people a lot of people that died off? Like the effects of them dying off was pretty cool. I have to admit. So
yeah, programs, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they're like become pixels and then they just kind of splatter away. I like it.
Yeah, I like that. That was kind of cool. I thought that was probably my highlight.
And I want to say, like, again, the plot still could have been developed, but the premise was Clue is told you are going to change the world. That's what Jeff Bridges' character. We keep saying Jeff Bridges' character, and his name is it Flynn?
Flynn, yeah, Kevin Flynn.
Yeah. We just know him as Jeff Bridges, but he tells Clue that, and he takes it literally, and it's making him do evil things, and it shows him kill Tron. I believe there is a flashback.
Right.
There is one.
That's the best part, I think, is there is there's substance there. There's something you're like, okay, a story is developing. Show me more. I need more of that,
Yep.
So yeah, good point.
I agree with you. Yeah. So in my mind, I was like, oh, wow, Tron is gone. The movie is called Tron. But then going back to what Seth was saying, it's a program. So then later on, you see him kind of mind controlled or just kind of going along with Clue. So I wish that would have been explained a little more, because then I'm thinking, did he create another Tron and he's just kind of got the memories, but he's now brainwashed? Or is he the program where, yeah, he took him out in that instance? Because in that flashback, Jeff Bridges gets away, but Tron he like sacrifices himself to help him get away. Which, again, I agree. That was a great scene. I wish there was more of that. But yeah, there's just so much I wish they could have done better. But yeah, any more scenes that at least are on the positive. I want to at least give a little bit of positive to this movie. It sounds like we've been bashing it so far, but there were some, I would say, some highlights.
I thought the opening couple scenes were good. Like the very first few shots were really well done. Sorry if I stole that from you.
Well, I was going to say in the very beginning, whenever Jeff Bridges, he's talking, and that whole scene that shows like the little action figures while he's explaining things, and so that actually was, I feel like, how you would film things. Like, oh, hey, we're talking about the past, what happened in the original movie. Here's these action figures as Jeff Bridges is just explaining things. I'm like, that's awesome. I wish they would have hinted more towards what happened before, so you weren't so confused.
I love the scene where Sam took the keys, went into the arcade, turned the lights on, the jukebox plays the Journey song. You see the Tron light up in the background. He goes in. I thought the movie was going to get so good from there. I'm like, all right, we're getting somewhere. And then he finds his dad's setup, and he goes into the digital world. And from that point on, I'm like, I wish you would have stayed in the arcade, and like it took a little longer for him to figure out how to get in there, and we had a little bit more backstory, and he found some other games, and I mean, I wanted that 80s feel in the 2010, but instead we just get plummeted right into digital land, and I was just not loving it.
I'm sure Galaga Guy would want more of the arcade scenes.
Yeah, right? Come on.
I did like... Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say the one scene I really liked was when, towards the end, where Clue is trying to stop them from going in the transporter doodad. And that's the official term. Jeff Bridges touches the ground. It's like a shockwave goes out. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a great scene. I love that part. And more of that. I want more of that. I wanted Jeff Bridges to go off. I mean, there's a few scenes in the club. He kind of does that. He walks in and just kind of owns the room and stuff. I really love that part. So I'm with you on that. What were you going to say, Sheldon? I'm interested to hear.
I love whenever the main character, what's his name? But he comes in, he gets put in the games, and he's actually plays Disc of Tron, for his life. But that was a really cool thing to see, just because if you've ever played Disc of Tron, that's how the game's played. You're on these platforms, and you have these discs, and you're throwing them back and forth between you and the other guy, and you're bouncing them off the walls. And so I thought that was kind of cool. And then he was just like, you know what? I'm not playing this game anymore. And he jumps out of it. I thought that was funny, because he's just like, no, I'm going to another platform. So I thought that scene was pretty cool.
Yeah. I got a hot take. I had a fun time with a lot of the action sequences. Yeah, I agree with you guys. I wish this had more substance. I wish it had more of a story. The characters could be fleshed out. But I had an absolute ball with like what you're talking about, Sheldon. That's why it jogged my memory, is that sequence. It was really well done, because he faces off against a guy and he is losing, but it jumps at him and he removes the floor and it falls through. And he kind of gets cocky about himself. Yeah. And then he tries to do it with that henchman one of Clue, and it doesn't work. I thought that was a nice little touch. I mean, it's like you got to really be paying attention to that. But I appreciated that. So going with that, the bike scene, I really like the dogfight aerial. Like they put the wall and do barrel rolls. I thought that was really cool. Kind of gave me Star Wars vibes, because then he goes to the back, kind of like, I got him. Don't get cocky, kid. You know, I was getting a little bit of that. You could tell it's not going to be as good, obviously, as Star Wars, but I was kind of like, okay, that was a nice touch. You know, they're trying to pay homage to it, that kind of thing. So there was a lot of scenes like that. The problem is there's not many of them. Like you guys are saying, there's a lot of places where it falls flat, and you're just like, come on, let's get it. It's like it's starting to get some momentum, and then it just kind of falls down. That's kind of the feeling I was getting. Is that what you guys felt, or what was kind of your feelings? Did you have like a roller coaster, or was it kind of what were your thoughts on that?
I mean, my loop ended at the my loop of the roller coaster ended once Sam went into the digital world. After that, and then we came back out with Q. I'm like, okay, so this is kind of cool. She's back in the real world with him, and then it just ends, and I'm like, where's the rest of the movie? Where's another movie? Give me another movie. And now here we are. We're waiting on Ares to come out. And I'm like, all right, well, that is probably going to correct everything I didn't like about this movie just based on all of that I've seen so far in the previews. But yeah, this one, it just did not do it for me.
I just want to touch a little bit more on what you were saying, the roller coaster. I think with the music, it kind of, the music was amazing. And a funny story was back in 2010, the iPod was real popular. And I remember going on iTunes and buying for 99 cents the intro music and the scene or the intro to the movie where Jeff Bridges is talking. I thought it was much longer. I paid $1 for it, and I got it, and it was like less than 30 seconds. So I was like, oh, wow. Really? But anyways, I just would listen to that on repeat.
That's a core memory. I remember those iTunes days of every song was always 99 cents. And you'd be like, okay. And there'd be like an intro for like 5 seconds. You still had to pay 99 cents for a 5-second track.
Yeah, that's why Weird Al's Albuquerque was such a good deal at 11 minutes long.
Then on the flip side, right, you have like those 15-minute songs where it was like a bargain, like your money's worth. I'm interested to hear though, Sheldon, what was kind of your experience? I'd love to hear people's experience when they're watching a movie.
Well, I liked the cycle part of it, whatever they were going through, and it was kind of like they kept hitting. It felt like almost like a Mario Kart game. Whenever they were hitting like these things to go faster and faster and going down, I like that too, and I loved how they got into the cycles whenever they were doing that. Like whenever they jump in the air just midway, and all of a sudden it just ignite all around them. So I thought that scene was pretty fun. That's what I think the hold on the whole movie is scenes like that. Like if you're into like just watching these things, all the stuff going on and seeing something cool, that's kind of what you go for Tron.
That's it. Well, Ajax kind of brought it out. Arius is going to be coming out soon, so I'm going to be curious. I don't think Sam, that's his name, the main character, Jeff Bridges, Kevin Flynn, that's his name, his son. I don't think he's going to be in the sequel, so I'll be interested to revisit with you, Ajax, if we, see that movie, because there's a lot of hot topic going on with that one, but it sounds like maybe that's something that's going to be fixed, because we're talking about kind of the plot and the characters, maybe more of the real world, connecting with it, not just going back and playing the greatest hits, so to say. That is kind of a knock of they were just trying to redo the first one, so maybe they could have improved on it. But yeah, any other thoughts just to kind of throw in? It can be about anything. Just open it up to you guys.
Well, Ben mentioned Daft Punk. I love Daft Punk, and I love the soundtrack, and the score of this movie is excellent. I found, though, at times, the music was so loud that you could not even hear the dialogue very well over the music. I felt that was an issue. And even though it's like a great music, but it's like, come on, mixing, do something about that. And then, to also talk about what Sheldon was talking about with the old Jeff Bridges, and Clue, the face mapping. I was lost. Once I saw his face, I'm like, what is going on? The eyes are like moving. It's really weird looking. It's so distracting. It takes away from the film, and the genuine part of who you're supposed to believe, like that his dad, and maybe it's not his dad though. That kind of thing. It's just too distracting. But those are the 2 points I wanted to bring out with that.
Gotcha. I agree with you. Yeah, we didn't really touch on the face thing. Whatever that was, it was very, very dated. I think it looked dated to me at the time. but it looks very dated today. But yeah, anyone else? Yeah, jump on in.
I mean, not to sound like a broken record with everybody, but the Daft Punk thing was pretty cool. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I really do feel like that $170 million was misplaced. That is way too much of a budget for what we got, in my opinion. And I just don't think that they handled that very well. And I don't want to knock on this director. Apparently it was his first movie, but I did not think the whole picture was that great.
We'll get down to our final reviews. I'll be interested to hear, but I was sensing a little bit there. So how about you? Yeah.
I'm trying to find because I thought maybe it was the same guy as the guy who plays Zeus, the same guy who plays another Marvel character, or am I totally off?
I don't know that he's ever played Marvel, but he's a very good actor.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what else he has been in because to me,
He's actually British.
like he was like the highlight of like the side highlight, I should say, of the whole movie was that guy. I was like, he did that so well, and I love that whole like club scene where he's the guy who's protecting Zeus, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I am Zeus.
It's Michael Sheen.
Michael Sheen.
That's it.
Yeah, but I thought he was great. And so if you want to see just like a clip of the movie, just watch that scene even because it's like he does such a good job of just portraying that. So
Alice in Wonderland is the only thing close to another Disney movie I see he starred in. So nothing Marvel, but I don't even know what character he was in that, the live action Tim Burton.
I said he was a good actor. He's from my favorite movie of all time. So
there you
he's
go.
a big part of that movie. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Michael Sheen.
Yeah. I thought he was a good character too. I think if you're going to talk side characters, he is the one outside of the three, the Flynns and Q. He was kind of the other character because he's playing that gray character where he's supposed to be good, but he double crosses him. But yeah, any other thoughts? Go back to you, Ben. Any other thing to add?
Yeah, just overall, like, just I'm still captivated by the graphics. Like Ajax said that that de-aging didn't age well at all. But yeah, I just anytime I think about it, I think of the movie and the music and the graphics.
Right on. And I think you're going to say something, Sheldon. I'm sorry. What any other thing to throw in the mix?
Oh, I was adding on to my point. I thought he was Tom Hiddleston. That's what I thought he like looked like him. I was like, is that Tom Hiddleston? Yeah, so not him though, not him.
They all look alike, I guess, if they're British, right?
Yes, yes.
Olivia Wilde, for a while I thought Olivia Wilde was Malin Ackerman. I'm like, that's similar, but no, not her.
Tom Hiddleston is also my favorite movie of all time.
See?
Crossover.
Yeah.
There you go. Link it together there.
We know Seth's type. That's what it is. Anyone that reminds you of those actors.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're ready for some fun facts, Seth. So hit us with some of those fun facts.
All right. So stay with me. This is kind of a long one. The crowd voices during the disc battle in the beginning of the movie are actually the voices of the audience during the panel for the film at the 2010 San Diego Comic-Con. The audience was instructed to stomp and chant to prompts shown on the large video screen, and the sound was recorded by text from Skywalker Sound.
Very nice. I was waiting for you to say the original, like showing of the original Tron in 19... I don't think the quality would be as good today. They have to really touch it up. But
all right, we laid all the movies down on the ground. You guys just need to stomp on them and scream. That's it.
The next one I've got is shooting the film lasted only 64 days. Post-production, due to the heavy special effects, required 68 weeks.
There's your budget right there.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Speaking of the budget, the most expensive film ever made for a first-time director was the production budget of $170 million, as you said.
Wow.
At the time, I'll just go back to, I saw it in theaters, and I remember that's what everyone was talking about. Even the freakish, creepy-looking Jeff Bridges de-aged CGI. People were still raving about it, and that I think it was just one of those, they wanted the best and newest technology at the time. And by today's standards, obviously it wouldn't cost that much, but that's what it's a common theme we're going on. They definitely put the budget into the special effects, which I guess if you watch it in 4K, it doesn't age as well. So I'm going to maybe have to go back.
That's just my opinion. I don't know how everybody else feels. One more before we get to the fun fact trivia question. So Olivia Wilde had to learn her stunts a second time upon discovering the high heels her character wears. And I looked for it, and they were like platforms. I mean, it was crazy.
You have to wonder sometimes. Gosh. Well.
All right, guys. Are you ready for it? The fun fact trivia question. So we'll get everybody's opinion, and then we can answer it. Are you ready?
Ready.
Ready?
All right. So the skin-tight electric suits worn actually fitted with... I'm sorry, let me start that again. The skin-tight electric suits worn were actually fitted with embedded light strips, thus eliminating the need for any such special effects modifications in the post-production. So true or false? What do you guys think? Do you think the suits were already prepared, or do you think they did that in post-production? Each one of you can answer.
Yeah, you guys jump in. I'm going to go last. I'm going to get you guys' thoughts
I'm
first.
going to guess it was true because they were trying to be proactive. It's my guess.
What do you guys think?
I'm going to say true.
I'm going to say true too. I was thinking
Isaac?
I'm going to say false.
All right, so we're locked in. So the answer is true. I'm very sorry, Isaac.
I was like, I'm going to just keep my losing streak going at this point. Somebody's going to win.
I'm very sorry.
I was thinking false.
Poor
I didn't
Isaac.
do that on purpose. I promise you. Interesting, though. Okay. Well, that's just something I'll have to get better at again. I keep saying that over and over with trivia. But congratulations, guys. You guys got it. All right. Well, before we get down to our final thoughts, our final rating, let's just kind of look around the net like we do. So, Seth, what kind of reviews you seen out there?
So the first one was Always Be With You said, a spectacular visual experience to be taken with a pinch of salt. 7 out of 10.
Do you guys agree with that statement?
I like the pinch of salt part. Yeah.
Pinch of salt.
So the second one, my favorite, The Little Songbird says, surprisingly enjoyable, 7 out of 10.
Well, they enjoyed it. And another repeat offender. We always appreciate hearing
yeah.
from the Little Songbird.
Okay, this one I just cracked up, and I hope you guys do as well. They Call Me Mr. Glass said, this will rock.
That is a good one.
This will rock for the fans of the original, but others may be scratching their heads. 7 out of 10.
We got 3 straight 7s. So
And all of them sounded like they would be really reviewed different, like rated differently based on what they said.
yeah.
Like, how are those all 7s? That sounds like a 2, a 4, and a 9, Like,
I did not manipulate, I swear.
We're getting back to the 6. It was 6 out of 10 for the longest time we had reviews. I hated it. 6 out of 10. It was like inconsistent on the reviews. We almost got that, but it was 7 out of 10 this time. So, well, I am really anxious to hear everybody's rating. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to give our final thoughts. And I'm just going to start with Galaga Guy Sheldon, because you are our guest. We're going to go through our guests first. So I'm going to ask you the question to start things off. How are you going to rate Tron Legacy? Are you going to take it home? Are you going to watch it at grandma's? Or are you going to hide it in the attic?
All right. Well, the first one, if you remember, I said I'd leave it at grandma's house. This one, I am going to put it in the attic. Yeah. So it just was a little bit too boring for me. The first hour and 10 minutes, I'm kind of like, okay, there's a lot going on, but didn't feel like there's a lot of substance within everything going on. And they tried to make it feel like there was something bigger happening, but then the bigness never happens. Like there's nothing too deep there. So I don't know if I'd watch this again. I'm glad I watched it before I see, the next Tron movie, but yeah, I just gotta say I'm probably gonna put it in the attic.
Right. So we got one for hide it in the attic. Let's go to Ben. What is your rating?
So like Sheldon mentioned his first one. So the first Tron movie was leave it at grandma's house. This one is a close. I kind of go back and forth, but I'm going to have to actually hide this one in the attic, but I might get it out and rewatch it if I happen to discover it in the attic.
I like it. That's a good way of putting it. There's some movies like that.
That's very well put.
All right. We got to Galaga Guy and Ben. Let's go to Ajax.
Yeah, I like both of their takes on it. The first movie, though, I didn't like at all. I would have hidden that one way in the attic. And this one, they definitely improved the graphics. The visuals are better. They have interesting characters, but they don't do anything with them. And yeah, the whole hour thing that Sheldon was talking about, where it's just boring and doesn't move the story along at all. I just did not like the digital world at all. I thought they could have done so much more with it, had so much potential. So for those reasons, I'm hiding it in the attic as well.
Okay. I love the takes, though, because Sheldon thought the first part was boring. Ajax thought that was the captivating part. So we got polar opposites, but yet ultimately had the same rating. So just couldn't get the right balance, it sounds like. But I love hearing different takes. That's great. All right. Come to you, Seth. What do you think?
So I have to hide this in the attic. I watched it twice. Both times I lost interest. Once about 45 minutes in, and then the second time about 10 minutes in. So, in my opinion, could this movie, like the budget, been used on something better and to better the world? Yes. So that's how I feel about it.
Okay. We got 4 hide it in the attics going on. And I have to bring something out that's very interesting. So we considered the first one at Galaga Guy's Arcade, the Galacade. And I believe everybody but me watched it at Grandma's. But the original, I hid in the attic. For Tron Legacy, it's a close one, but I'm actually going to watch this one at Grandma's. So both Tron movies, I went against everybody else's ratings. I thought that was interesting. But I agree with you guys. Like, this is not what it should have been. There's so much potential with this one. I kept thinking to myself, man, if they just would have done a little bit more here and there, like Ajax, more flashbacks, more fleshed out characters. If they would have just went that distance and not so much on the special effects. I mean, the fun facts, Seth explains it all. It didn't take long to shoot, but it took a lot longer for the special effects. So they obviously doubled down on the special effects. The reason I'm going to watch it at Grandma's house, though, is I had a good time with this. I don't know what else to say. I know you guys thought, this and that. I enjoyed it, though. I mean, the action sequences, even though there wasn't very much of it. So it's a close one, but I've definitely watched worse movies. I was thinking to myself, what did I hide in the attic? I think it's edging a few of them I'm coming to mind. But yeah, don't hype this movie up too much. That's all I can say. You're probably going to be disappointed if you're thinking this is the Tron we've all wanted. It's just disappointing. That's the word that keeps coming to me. It's just, it could have been so much more. If I watch this again, it's not going to be anytime soon. Like I said, it's very close to the attic. You know, maybe Ben's is close to the door of the attic that he might get it out. Mine's close to where I might just chuck it in the attic. I don't know. Just get those action sequences out every once in a while. So. Well, there you go, folks. This was an absolute blast, guys. We got some great takes on this movie. This was absolutely fun, but we got another movie in the books, and we can't thank you guys enough for coming on. We have our guests that came on, so let's give all of you guys the proper spotlight. Maybe we'll start with you, Ajax. Where can people find and connect with you?
Well, Seth and I have a podcast called Cover Wars where we cover songs. If you like cover songs, if you hate cover songs, either way, it doesn't matter. We are on a quest to find the top 3 versions of a particular song. And we do that by pulling from a curated playlist of 20 songs. We tell everybody our top 5 favorites, and we do that in surprise fashion. So you can find us at Cover Wars Podcast on YouTube and at Cover Wars on TikTok. So find us. It's fun.
There you go. Make sure you connect and give him a follow, like all that good stuff. And how about we come to you, Ben? Where can people find and connect with you?
Yeah, so I'm at Toybox_gamer on TikTok. I'm very active there. I review 80s, 90s, 2000s era toys. And you can also follow me on YouTube at Toybox gamer.
There you go. Give him a follow, a like, all that good stuff as well. And Galaga Guy 88, where can people find and connect with you?
This is why I love this group, because we have music, we've got toys, and then we've got movies, and I'm the video game one. That's what I am. So find me at Galaga Guy 88 on YouTube and on TikTok. Every Friday night at 10:30, we have Gaming Happy Hour, where we talk about gaming news that's going on, as well as just different articles that we found interesting, and we try to get our audience involved with that. So check me out on there, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's a great point. I love that too. I think we've all got something for everybody. It's going on. So connect with everybody, but especially ones that kind of, hit your fancy or hobbies. If it's video games, if it's nostalgia, if it's music, toys, all that good stuff. Be sure to give a like and a follow to all these guys. They're doing great things, great content, lots of fun. And Seth, we got to make sure we tell everybody where they can find and connect with us. So where can they find us?
You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. You can email us at movies@grandmashouse@gmail.com. We have a newsletter, so keep up to date all things Movies at Grandma's House. We're on Patreon, so become a member. Check us out. And go to movieposters.com and type in Grandma's House at checkout for 15% off.
There you go. Yeah. Again, make sure you're on our newsletter if you want to be up to date with all of our upcoming events, that type of thing. And best of all, again, you can win a free poster. We do it monthly. So if you're on our newsletter, simple as that, you're automatically entered in. Well, that's going to do it for our time at Grandma's house. But don't worry, we will be back soon. So in the meantime, remember to be kind and rewind. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.